Do you know that if you clean a vacuum cleaner, that technically makes you a vacuum cleaner? Huh? Think about it. Okay, that is unrelated to what we are about to discuss in this video, but I couldn't miss my chance to say that. Whew, that felt so good. So today, we are going to be talking about the Chevy C8 Corvette Z06. I know a lot of you must have seen the images of the new C8 Corvette prototype, which appeared online a couple of months ago. Now, the GM authorities have been showing off what appears to be an up-and-coming go-faster variant of the latest mid-engine Chevy sports car. Here's the thing. We've noticed that a whole bunch of people have been mistaking this for the C8 Grand Sport. No, don't do that. It's not! It's a C8 Corvette Z06! My little birdie from the GM authorities tells me that for now, the future of the C8 Corvette Grand Sport is a bit hazy. And it's possible Chevy may not make a C8 Grand Sport at all. Rather, the Grand Sport could instead be folded into the upcoming C8 Corvette E-Ray, but as of this video, there are no C8 Corvette Grand Sport mules or prototypes in existence. Who knows what the future holds? Maybe, just maybe, we could see the Grand Sport back on track. I have never been more excited about any vehicle as the C8 Corvette Z06. And for very important reasons too. Now if you notice, 2019 backward is 9102. If you take away the 0 and the 2, you have 91, right? And it doesn't mean anything, but thank you for listening. Okay. Put on my serious face now. Oh god. Alright, seriously now. The C8 Corvette Z06 will come equipped with the naturally aspirated 5.5-liter V8 LT6, which includes a flat plane crank, dual overhead cams, and 32 valves, with a red line in the 8,500 to the 9,000 RPM range. The output should be around 600 horsepower and in between 480 and 550 pound-feet of torque. This engine is previewed in the competitive spec Corvette C8R and brings a Z06 nameplate back to its roots as an atmospheric track-ready speed sled. Additionally, the new Z06 is expected to offer 3 individual aero packages with a mix of active and passive features. We'd check out all of its impressive features in a jiffy, but first, I have a very important question to ask. Do you use ExpressVPN for Netflix? No! Why not? You don't love the idea of having access to Netflix China, Netflix France, or anywhere? Sure you do! So try out ExpressVPN to get access to more movies and TV shows than you can finish in an entire lifetime. The link is in the description. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Thanks! I'm still waiting. Did you like it yet? Hit the subscribe button, come on! So, the upcoming C8 Corvette Z06 is expected to arrive in the second half of the 2021 calendar year for the 2022 model year. The new C8 Corvette Z06 will also be the first of several go-faster mid-engine Chevrolet Corvette variants with the C8 E-Ray, C8 ZR1, and C8 Zora following later on in the model's life cycle. It is a transition period for good old Chevy. The Z06 will be moved by a powerful DOHC V8 engine, becoming one of the first of several upcoming ultra-high-performance variants of the C8 Corvette. This time, the Z06 will use a naturally aspirated DOHC 32-valve 5.5-liter V8. Plus, it has a flat plane crank, just like a Ferrari V8. It should rev between 8,500 and 9,000 RPM, spit out 600 plus horsepower, and shriek like something from Ferrari. It feels like an 8-speed dual-clutch automatic transaxle driving the rear wheels. This is no mere speculation because a detuned version of this engine is already powering the C8R race car. The Z06 new V8 packs a power curve shaped like a bodybuilder's bicep, like mine. Okay, that was a lie. I have a pot in my belly. Don't judge me. I was locked up in my apartment for over 6 months with a refrigerator filled with soda and bags of chips. Yes, I like them cold. I meant the chips. You know what? Let's just move on. So the switch to a mid-engine configuration maximizes traction, allowing Chevy to better utilize its mega horsepower engines for battling everything on the exotic car spectrum. A muscled-up version of the base C8's architecture will be in play, with wider rubber, stronger brakes, a recalibrated suspension tune, and upgraded powertrain cooling. Flared fenders cover the mechanical bits, a new for the vet active aerodynamics pennant to the track. Now there's a chance that the small block loyalists won't want a Corvette that sounds like a Ferrari. But if you've ever heard the bellicose shout of a 488 Pista, you know that's a low risk. If the Chevrolet Corvette Stingray's nearly 500 HP V8 engine fails to entice you, then the forthcoming Corvette Z06 more than 600 HP V8 ought to do the trick. And it's not just the horsepower output that's changed. The Z06 engine will be an entirely different animal from its lesser sibling, increasing performance and bringing an entirely different character to the car. It sounds like parents who got their first kid and said, "Nah, this can't be it. We gotta try again. We have to do better next time." But honestly, I think this car is a product of a lot of really smart people sweating their ass out for several months. Here's what I mean. Unlike the LT2 engine of the Stingray, the Z06 V8 will forego pushrod valves and a cross-plane crank for a dual overhead cams and a flat plane crank. The resulting engine should possess the rev-happy nature and oral thrills of the mechanically similar V8 in the Corvette C8R race car. Now that's just out of this world. Thanks to its race car-like construction, the more than 600 HP engine is due to spin its crankshaft to an insane 9,000 RPM. How Chevy will quell the power plant's vibration, which has always been an inherent issue of the V8s with flat plane cranks, remains a mystery. Nobody knows. Nevertheless, we're sure the Bowtie brands learned a few tricks from the C8R's 5.5-liter engine. Like the Stingray, we trusted the Z06 would rely on the 8-speed dual-clutch automatic gearbox to send all of those horses to its rear wheels. Revisions to the car's suspension and a set of sticky summer tires are sure to keep the Z06 power from overwhelming its drive wheel and chassis. I think this car is set to become one of the best things to happen in the coming years. That's if McDonald's doesn't start giving out free burgers or something like that. Hopefully not. Okay. Let's talk about that weight. The 2022 Corvette Z06 will welcome several weight-saving measures. Don't worry, the comfort level will not be traded off. Also, there's no indication that the Z06 will ditch the likes of the Stingray's large digital gauge cluster or touchscreen infotainment system, so it's only getting better. Nevertheless, we are looking forward to the model featuring some lightweight materials for items such as the exhaust, rear wing, front splitter, and even its wheels. Specifically, the Corvette Z06 will offer buyers the option to equip it with a set of carbon fiber wheels. I know. Porsche and Ford offer carbon fiber wheels already, but face it, it's still relatively rare. Let's not forget to mention that it's a pretty expensive way for road-going cars to go about shedding mass. Finally, let's talk about its horsepower. Don't hold us to it, but we're guessing that the Corvette Z06 engine should have about 625 horsepower with well over 400 pound-per-feet of torque. Figure 485 pound-per-feet. Not quite as much as the old Z06 supercharged 6.2-liter LT4 with 650 horsepower and 650 pound-per-feet of torque. But who cares? Okay, let's use the Porsche as an example for a moment. Check this out. The 911 Turbo makes more power than the 911 GT3, yet every car geek wants the GT3. I know I do. Now back to that power for a moment. Over 600 naturally aspirated ponies from only 5.5 liter are impressive. Assuming we're right about the 625 horsepower number, that means the Corvette Z06 will pack 99 horses more than the world's next most powerful naturally aspirated V8, the 526 horsepower Voodoo V8. Found in the Shelby GT350 or GT350R. To put this possible 625 horsepower in perspective, the sadly decreased Dodge Viper cranked out 645 horsepower from a massive 8.4-liter V10 engine. No doubt, the Z06 engine is going to be a screamer. Let's do a quick comparison. The Lamborghini Huracan Evo's 10-cylinder engine spins to 8,500 RPM, while the Lambo Aventador SVJ's V12 only hits 8,700 RPM. The Ferrari 812 Superfast? It says 9,000 RPM on the tach, but everyone knows that superlative V12 is only good until 8,900 revs. Only the discontinued Porsche 911 GT3, GT3 RS, and Speedster's 4.0-liter chunk of rear-mounted perfection spins up to 9,000 RPM. Well, the upcoming 992 GT3's engine probably will too. So guys, the next Corvette Z06 will have a naturally aspirated 5.5 liter flat plane twin cam V8 that spins to 9,000 RPM. Again, naturally aspirated and redlines at $9 grand. Can we get a hallelujah? The new Z06 will also perform insanely fast with the about 200 miles per hour top speed. While the new mid-engine design made the C8 Stingray a half second quicker than the old C7 and put it on par with the C7 Z06 is around 2.9 seconds. The new C8 Z06 won't be a half second quicker than its predecessor. It will definitely hit 60 miles per hour in around 2.7 seconds. Now that's as impressive as it gets. This puts the Z06 above competitors like the Ferrari F8, Tributo, and Lamborghini Huracan Evo. At this point, we're hopeful that the brand manages to take the wraps off the car in early 2021 and ship it to the dealers before the end of the year as a 2022 model. That said, it's possible the Z06 won't arrive until sometime in 2022 as a 2023 model. Regardless, prepare to spend a good chunk more change to get into the car. All of these goodies don't come cheap, brah. Frankly, we'll be surprised if the Z06 stickers for anything south of $80,000 to $85,000. That's pricey for a Corvette, considering that the Stingray starts at $59,995. Still, compared to the 572 horsepower Porsche 911 Turbo, which starts at more than $170,000, the 2022 Corvette Z06 promises to be a relative steal given its performance capabilities. So we can expect to go on sale in early 2021 as a 2022 model, all things being equal. It's a return to the stripped down for action, high revving, track-worthy Vette. Can Chevy just shut up and take all our money? A whole lot has obviously gone into making of this car, and I find it quite fascinating. And generally, I can't wait to see the C8 Corvette Z06 drive past me. But wait, have you ever thought about this? If Apple made cars, would it have windows? I guess that's food for thought. Well, that's the end of this video. Till next time, a special shout out to my Mexican friend Carlos, pronounced as Carlos, who lost his car. Hope you find it soon, buddy. Love ya!